Uh-oh. Matt, did you freeze?
Number 18. And we've got a really sweet update for you today. We're going to be talking about the vRealize True Visibility Suite. What do you think about that, Tom?
I think it's going to be thrice as nice. It's going to be fun today. I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got some awesome guests here to talk about the new I don't even know if it's new offerings. It's really new entitlements to the vRealize Suite. And let's just jump right into it because we're really, really excited. We've heard a lot of great customer feedback on this announcement here. So let's bring on Mr. Peter Hagenson and Brock Peterson to talk about this. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Morning. Doing well. How are you?
Morning, guys.
Doing sweet. So let's talk a little bit about this announcement. Peter, you just published a blog on this announcement, kind of highlighting, really what it is that we're announcing here. So let's dive into it. What's the big news with vRealize or True Visibility Suite?
Yeah, there's a bunch of big news that has been a long time in the making. So, as Brock is a very famous Blue Midorian, as well as myself, we've been working on the True Visibility Suite for many, many years. And when it became a part of VMware about a year and a half ago, we started looking at maybe some ways that we could change how we package, how we sell, and put a lot of work into that over the last year. And so we've got 3 really exciting updates that you can read about in the blog that you showed. But we're going to talk through them today and just kind of give everybody an overview of what you can do with True Visibility, how you can buy it now, what's included. And hopefully, I think everybody will be really excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's start with kind of what's kind of getting bundled into vRealize operations. Let's maybe start there, and then we can dive into all the other awesome stuff that you all do. For extensibility with vRops.
Yeah, I've got a couple slides. We can start on slide 8, I think. We talk about our big updates to True Visibility. And while we're getting those pulled up, I want to make sure everybody knows True Visibility, what it is. It's a suite of management packs that, there's been 53 management packs created over the years to bring extensibility to vRealize operations. So, we can bring in storage, compute, network, hyperconverged, virtualization and container, databases, applications. And they've been very popular over the years to bring kind of that single pane of glass. I don't love saying single pane of glass because everybody says it, but
cheers to that.
I've heard enough people over the years tell us or tell the field that this is the closest to a true single pane of glass that they've been able to get, and so I feel relatively comfortable saying it. It brings those relationships into your vRealize operations environment. You just do a lot of cool things with it, and we'll maybe have Brock show you. Brock is the dashboard master when it comes to vRops and True Visibility, so we can maybe take a look at that in a little bit. But this is the first exciting announcement that we have, that all of the storage and compute management packs that had previously been a part of the True Visibility Suite, you had to purchase, True Visibility Suite Standard, and you got compute, and then Dell EMC storage. You had to go to TVS Advanced if you wanted to pull in all of the rest of those third-party storage companies. But what we did was, we see the value of these management packs to our customer base as, so high, so important that we think that we're entitling these to every vRealize operations user. So if you use VROPS, it's very exciting.
It's huge. Yeah.
So if you have VROPS today, what you can do is in your Customer Connect portal, we go to the next slide. All of these management packs will be included in your Customer Connect portal. You'll just be able to download and install. So if you check out that blog that I had referenced earlier, there, there's links in the blog as well to this specific page in Customer Connect. There's resources for documentation. We had a couple of people on the team make really awesome videos. I have a playlist of all install and config videos that can just get you installed and up and running so that you can utilize these now that you have access to them.
Yeah, Peter,
Yeah,
they're actually. Go ahead, Matt.
Oh no, I sorry, just real quick. I was just going to say, we've got links to everything. The description below. I'm going to add a link to that playlist as well, because there's a ton of videos in there highlighting all of this. So sorry, go ahead, Brock.
Yeah, so I was actually just on with a customer yesterday, and we were hooked into his Customer Connect, and he was downloading, 4 or 5 of these management packs. So he had UCS, he had 3 or 4 different flavors of storage, and like Peter said, it's important to note that not only is Dell EMC entitled at this point, but the non-Dell EMC stuff as well, which was previously a part of VRTDS Advanced. So a lot of goodness here. Many of my customers are already running these and replacing other management packs that they may have been running, or just now getting visibility into the hardware. So lots of good technology here, lots of ways that we can actually start consuming alerts at this point, and take, say, the troubleshooting workbench beyond the vSphere Edge into some of the compute and storage environments.
Yeah, and
I think this is where
I'm sorry, Peter. Go ahead, man.
No, I was just going to bring it back. I think this is where kind of that single pane of glass really comes into play, because even I've talked to people that say, even just being able to see my multi-vendor storage side by side, nobody has one flavor of storage, and so you're bound to be using multiple management tools just for your different storage arrays. And I think with this, it's much easier to bring that all into vRealize operations. You can create a custom dashboard that puts your storage one right next to the other, and you can see the health, performance, all of the goodness right there in vROPS.
Yeah, I think it's also helpful in that we kind of attach some of those volumes, LUNs, whatever storage type object to the vSphere data store it's supporting, right? So when you have performance issues or I/O or latency issues, be it app related or at the VM, you now can find that data store and the underlying storage supporting it to kind of span that gap, right? Previously, we would have to stop at the data store layer, and we wouldn't be able to see what's going on the underlying storage, right? Potentially your I/O or your storage issues are at the storage layer, not at the data store. So we now have that visibility. So beyond just multi-storage dashboards, it enriches the troubleshooting workbench, right? So when the workbench came out in 8.0, I think that was a game changer. And now that canvas on which you troubleshoot becomes super, super colorful.
Yep.
So, Peter,
Yeah,
would you say
makes
it's
perfect
safe to say this could be your first pane of glass?
I've heard it called that. Yeah, I mean, it gives you
Thomas,
that depth and context that is super helpful.
Yeah, that's kind of what I call it, Thomas, because whenever I say single pane, all of the customers cringe. And that, in fact, I've had some customers say, please don't call it that. So
The point is true though either way, right? I mean, what you're
Yeah.
saying is that instead of having to go to all these disparate tools,
Mhm.
now you can start at least here. And if you have to go somewhere else, maybe you do. But at least it gives you one coalesced place that can be maybe the single source of truth, but maybe it's but it gives you somewhere to start. Not hey, everybody go look at 50 different things.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure. And I mean, you'll still use the management or monitoring planes for other technologies. For example, Cisco, UCS. I mean, we actually connect to the UCS Manager, UCS Central API, right? So that's a requisite. And there are still use cases where folks go in there to troubleshoot, be it at the fabric interconnects, blades, chassis, or just to look at hardware faults. But there's also use cases where you're troubleshooting an app or a VM and you want to know the hardware that the host supporting that VM is running on, and vRTBS gives you that. So the management or monitoring planes will always be there. We often hit them, but this kind of brings everything into a central location, that location being vRobs.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and just seeing, I mean, all of this is kind of what's being included with vRealize operations, right? But then seeing some of the other stuff that you guys do, I mean, even some of the application management packs that you have, just how deep you all go, or how deep you can go, even just beyond like the telegraph agent and being able to monitor applications, right? I've seen your SQL management pack will actually go into like the individual queries to be able to see what query is, maybe bunging things up. Right. So you guys go really, really, really deep with these management packs. I don't know, Peter, if you have a slide on what else all is available.
Yeah. So if we jump back into the slides there, we could take a look at, this is the second big update that we have is, we've made some other changes to the packaging of True Visibility Suite. And we've taken connectors and they used to sit in Enterprise, meaning you had to have TVS Enterprise, you had to have vRops Enterprise to utilize these management packs. And we've put them into Advanced because, we think the ability to connect to these other platforms is so important. We want to broaden the audience that has these management packs available. And I do specifically want to call out ServiceNow, and we can kind of dive into that because I think that's one of our most powerful management packs. You have the bi-directional sync between vRops and ServiceNow, and we took that. We previously had it in the application section, and we've moved that into connectors, so that we could put it in Advanced because I think again it's such a powerful management pack. We want it to be accessible to many of our customers.
Yeah, let's talk about the ServiceNow really quick. As far as vRealize operations, right out of the box, we've got integrations with ServiceNow, but that's for incidents. But I think the important thing here is that is kind of unidirectional, right? We are just going to open up an incident in ServiceNow, and sure, we can update it if it gets changed in vRealize operations. But with the True Visibility Suite, now you're getting that bidirectional plus CMDB, right? Can we talk a little bit more about that?
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Good point, Matt. So I think what did ServiceNow notification plugin come in vRops 7.5, I think, where you could generate ServiceNow incidents based on vRops alerts, which was a big win. I loved it when it came out. We started using it right away. I had lots of customers using it. But there's other constructs in ServiceNow that you're aware of, right? Events, alerts, etc. And oftentimes folks want things to come in as events to trigger kind of downstream activities before they become incidents. And with the vRTBS ServiceNow Management Pack gives you the ability to open incidents, alerts, or events. We also have proxy support, which I think the out-of-the-box one has now as well. But we also have the ability to bidirectional sync, meaning an alert gets updated in vRops, it then gets updated in ServiceNow. A ServiceNow incident gets updated, it is then synced back to vRealize operations, as well as CMDB population. So I have some customers currently looking at that to actually populate the CMDB for maybe VMs that got missed, maybe applications, maybe relationships, even storage arrays, for example. If they're not in the CMDB, vRealize discovers them. The ServiceNow management pack from vRTVS can then populate those in the CMDB. So, some of the older connectors here, like SCOM, Nagios, OEM, and NPM, are really just bridges to those technologies to pull them into vRealize. So the one for ServiceNow does much more than that, including the two things I just mentioned.
Yeah, that's really cool. So kind of going back to the licensing then, I mean, because we're breaking all these out into these packs now, right? So if a customer were looking for, say, that ServiceNow, like how would they purchase that? How would that be bundled?
So they have two options, which brings us to our third big update. If we want to bring that slide up, they can purchase vRTVS Advanced. They'll buy it with with that suite of management packs that has connectors, network, and virtualization container. Or we have also launched these technology modules that support a flexible licensing model. So, we had customers that would come to us and say, I want to monitor just this, the small cluster of Oracle databases. And in the past, because of how the suite works, you had to buy TVS Enterprise. But if you have just that specific use case, we're offering just connectors, just network, just virtualization and container, and they're priced per metrics that are specific to that module. That I think will be a really great way for customers who are maybe just dipping their toe in the water to creating that first pane of glass. And it's a good way to get started because you're not trying to install all the management packs at once if you're not ready for that. There's a lot of customers out there that are ready to get that full extensible view. But if you have that specific use case, then we have a new offering to support that.
Very cool. Great. Well, gentlemen, thanks so much. Is there anything else you want to add to this topic before we wrap things up? Or
I think Brock, if you want to go to the next slide, we just have some resources for people, or if we want to take we do want to take a look at some of the dashboards. I know Brock is very active on the VMware Code community, so I think there's. Go ahead.
There's some really good stuff here. So the Solution Exchange, folks like Thomas and Matt, myself, and various customers contribute stuff out to exchanges like this, VMware Code, etc. So contribute things like dashboards, reports, views, supermetrics, and the like. So go out there, check those out. Everything out there is free, so just download it. They're generally just JSONs or zip files that you can then import into your environment. It's also a really good way to kind of figure out how to dashboard, right? Years ago when I was starting, I would go out there and see what people were doing, download them, riff on them, kind of make them my own. And it's also a really easy way to kind of contribute back, I think, to the community at large. The vRops community is really vast across the Americas and Europe, not only on places like VMware Code, but Twitter and the like, right? So lots of people sharing content. It gets really fun.
Awesome.
And I think that's where you get your cool coffee mug too, wasn't it?
Yeah, right, exactly. So I don't know if you saw that, Matt, but so that's a vRops Ninja coffee mug that I got from John Diaz back in the day. So I've had that for several years. I'm pretty happy.
Yeah. No, it's great to see the community, at large, between blogging and sharing code and sharing dashboards and everything. I mean, Brock, you're a huge contributor to really all of that, right? And I do want to plug your blog because it seems like you're posting several articles a week. I mean, you're really busy at writing these articles, trying to help customers to understand how to do a lot of different things within vRealize operations. So from us to you, thanks so much for really all that you give to the community too.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a really nice way to kind of share stuff with customers as well, right, Matt? So I have customers that will oftentimes have the same question, right? And it's easy to send them a link, be it from my blog or from yours. VMspot back in the day and still is one of my favorites. And now it's kind of gone over to the cloud management blog. But this allows me to maybe publish content a little quicker. Without some guardrails, I think sometimes. But yeah.
Yeah.
Guardrail right here. I am Brock's guardrail.
The meme police, Peter Hagenson.
Yeah. Brock, that's not on brand.
Yeah, I do what I can to remain on brand. If I get too off brand, Peter will reach out to me in Slack and, slap my hand.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. Well, guys, thanks so much for joining us today. Really, this is a great conversation. Love to have you guys back, and maybe we can do some deeper dives into some of these specific management packs too. But in the meantime, check out the playlist on YouTube. If there's a particular pack that you're interested in or curious in, check those out. Again, we will have links to everything in the description below for easy access. But anyways, in closing, guys, I want to thank you once again for joining us today, and for all of you for watching and checking out the sweet announcement for the vRealize True Visibility Suite.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks,
Sweet
Thomas.
sweets. Yeah, thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah, you bet. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for joining.